The stars twinkled like tiny diamonds against the black canvas of space. For thousands of years, the Galactic Confederation had kept peace among the stars. Made up of 32 different alien species, they had never known true war. Admiral Jun sat on the bridge of the Harmony, the largest ship in the Confederation fleet. Though called a warship by some, it was really just a big exploration vessel. The Harmony was painted in bright blues and whites, with smooth curves and beautiful viewing windows. Its weapons were small and only used in emergencies. "Admiral, we have found something interesting," said Officer Minji, looking up from her screen. Her purple skin reflected the blue light of the computer. "A new solar system with signs of technology." Admiral Jun walked over, his 4 legs making soft tapping sounds on the metal floor. He had been finding new civilizations for over 20 years. Each time the new species joined the Confederation peacefully. "Show me," he said. On the big screen appeared a yellow star with 8 planets. The 3rd planet showed clear signs of radio signals and artificial satellites. "They call themselves humans, sir," said Communications Officer Tay. "They've been sending radio messages into space for about 100 years. Admiral Jun smiled. New species were always exciting. The Confederation grew stronger with each new member. Each species brought new ideas, new art, and new ways of thinking. "Prepare a welcome message in their main languages," he ordered. "Tell them we come in peace and wish to share knowledge." The crew of the Harmony worked quickly to prepare for first contact. They studied human broadcasts, learning their languages and customs. What they found surprised them. "Sir, these humans are different," said Intelligence Officer Bora. "They fight among themselves. They have weapons that can destroy entire cities. They evolved from hunters, not peaceful plant eaters like most Confederation species." Admiral Jun frowned. This was unusual, but not necessarily bad. Many young species go through violent periods. We will help them find peace, as we have done with others. The Harmony, along with 5 smaller ships, set course for the human solar system. The journey would take 3 weeks at their fastest speed. During that time, Admiral Jun learned more about humans. They were divided into many nations. They had fought 2 world wars that killed millions. They had weapons that could destroy their own planet many times over, but they also created beautiful music. They wrote stories about peace among stars. They dreamed of meeting alien life. "Perhaps they are ready for us," Admiral Jun said hopefully, as the Confederation fleet approached the edge of the human solar system. They sent their greeting message ahead of them. "Greetings from the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace and friendship. We wish to welcome humanity into our family of civilizations." They waited 2 days for a response. Finally, a message came back. "Greetings, Galactic Confederation. This is Earth United Space Command. We welcome peaceful contact. Please approach following these exact coordinates. Any deviation will be considered hostile." Officer Minji looked worried. "Sir, they're telling us exactly where to fly. No species has ever done that before. They are cautious." "That's understandable," said Admiral Jun. "Follow their path." The Confederation ships moved carefully through the solar system. They passed the gas giant planets, then the red planet the humans called Mars. "Sir, I'm detecting unusual energy signatures throughout this system," reported Science Officer Kang. "Some kind of defensive network." Before Admiral Jun could respond, his crew gasped. From behind the red planet emerged a ship, a human ship. It was black as space itself. Where Confederation ships had smooth curves, this ship had sharp angles. Where they had windows, this ship had armor. Where they had small defensive weapons, this ship had massive cannons and missile launchers. It was clearly built for one purpose: war. "Size comparison, Officer Kang?" asked Admiral Jun, his voice barely above a whisper. It's 3 times larger than the Harmony, sir, and our scans show its armor is 10 times stronger than ours. Its weapons—" Kang paused, double-checking the readings. "Its weapons could destroy our entire fleet in minutes." A new message came through their speakers. "Galactic Confederation vessels. This is Captain Song of the Earth Defense Force Warship Protector. We will escort you to Earth. Please, Maintain your current course. Admiral Jun and his crew stared at the massive human warship. In all their history, the Confederation had never built anything like it. They had never needed to. For the first time in his long career, Admiral Jun felt afraid, not just for himself, but for the entire peaceful Confederation. These humans were nothing like the aliens they had met before, and Admiral Jun wondered if inviting them to join the Confederation might be the biggest mistake they ever made. The Harmony glided silently through the solar system, following the exact path provided by Earth Space Command. Admiral Jun stood on the bridge, his four eyes fixed on the massive human warship that escorted them. The Protector moved with surprising grace for its size, its engines glowing with a blue fire that seemed impossibly efficient. Have you completed the full scan, Officer Kang? Admiral Jun asked quietly. Kang nodded, her tentacles moving nervously over her control panel. Yes, Admiral. The human vessel has energy outputs 10 times what our scientists believed possible for a civilization at their development stage. Their weapon systems. She paused, rechecking her data. They appear designed to actually destroy other ships, not just disable them. This concept troubled everyone on the bridge. In Confederation space, the rare conflicts between species were resolved through limited engagements with non-lethal weapons. The goal was always to force surrender, never to kill. Ships were designed to be beautiful and functional, not deadly. Sir, look at that, called out Navigator June, pointing to the view screen. As they passed what humans called the asteroid belt, they saw massive structures embedded in several large rocks. Mining operations? Asked Admiral Jun. No, sir. Defense. Platforms. Heavily armed ones, replied June. They're all powered down now, but our sensors indicate they could activate in seconds. Communications Officer Minji spoke up from her station. Admiral, I've been analyzing their communications networks. They have 6 separate military command structures, all operating independently but coordinating with each other. It's impressive. Or terrifying, muttered someone else on the bridge. As they approached the 4th planet, Mars, they saw more signs of human activity. Small bases dotted the red surface and ships moved between them and Earth. Some were clearly transport vessels, but others, more warships, noted Kang. Smaller than our escort, but still heavily armed. Admiral Jun felt growing unease. In the Confederation's 10,000 years of peaceful expansion, they had encountered over 30 sentient species. None had developed military technology before establishing unified planetary government. None had built weapons meant to kill rather than subdue. None had turned their entire solar system into a fortress. Admiral, called Minji, I'm receiving. A transmission from the Protector. Put it through, Jun ordered. The screen filled with the image of a human. Captain Song wore a dark uniform with silver markings on the shoulders. His face showed no emotion, but his eyes were alert and watchful. Admiral Jun, the human said. We'll be approaching Earth in approximately 6 hours. Before we enter near Earth space, you should be aware of our defensive protocols. Jun nodded politely. Of course, Captain. Your vessels will be scanned multiple times. Do not power up any systems without prior notification, even life support adjustments. If you detect unusual energy signatures directed at your ships, do not be alarmed. These are just routine scans. Jun's second pair of arms gripped his chair tightly. Such scans would be considered deeply invasive in Confederation space, a violation of privacy and sovereignty. Additionally, Captain Song continued, you'll notice a formation of 12 smaller vessels joining us as we approach Earth. This is standard procedure, not a sign of hostility. Understood, said Jun, though he didn't understand at all. Why would peaceful first contact require such military presence? After the transmission ended, Jun called his senior officers to the conference room. Away from human monitoring, they could speak freely. Their entire civilization seems built around conflict, said Kang. Look at these historical records we've intercepted. They've been at war with themselves constantly for thousands of years. Intelligence Officer Min displayed images of human history, armies clashing with primitive weapons, Cities reduced to rubble by bombs, mushroom clouds rising. Over islands, they're predators, said Science Officer Sung. They evolved from hunter species, not peaceful grazers like most Confederation races. Their eyes face forward, a predator trait. Their teeth show mixed carnivore adaptations. Jun considered this information carefully. Yet they've created art, music, philosophy. They value peace in their literature even if they haven't achieved it. Sir, said Officer Bora hesitantly, should we recommend to the Confederation that contact be limited? These humans might be too dangerous. Admiral Jun looked at the approaching blue planet on the view screen. So beautiful, yet home to such a potentially dangerous species. No, he said finally. We don't judge species by their past or their evolutionary path, but by their potential. The Confederation's purpose is to bring peace to all sentient life. As they continued toward Earth, Jun watched the human warship, Protector. Its black hull absorbed the light from the distant sun, making it seem like a hole in space itself. He wondered what other surprises these humans had in store, and whether the peaceful Confederation was prepared to handle them. As the Confederation fleet approached Earth, Admiral Jun felt a growing tension on the bridge of the Harmony. Their escort, the human warship Protector, had been joined by 12 smaller vessels, each still larger than any Confederation combat ship. The formation surrounded the alien visitors in what Jun recognized as a defensive pattern, though whether to protect them or control them remained unclear. Admiral, we're receiving a transmission from Earth Command, announced Officer Minji. They're requesting we alter course slightly. They want us to pass by their moon before approaching Earth. Jun nodded. Follow their instructions precisely. As they changed course, Officer Kang suddenly gasped at her sensor station. Admiral, massive energy spike detected from behind Earth's moon. The view screen automatically zoomed in on the source. What emerged from behind the gray satellite made the entire bridge crew fall silent. A ship, if it could even be called that, moved into view. It dwarfed everything Jun had ever seen. Where the Protector had seemed intimidating, this new vessel defied comprehension. It was at least 20 times larger than the Harmony, shaped like a flattened arrowhead with multiple layers of what appeared to be armor plating. Along its hull, massive structures that could only be weapon systems stood ready. Size comparison. Update, whispered Kang, her voice trembling. It's over 5 kilometers in length. Power readings are off our scales. Incoming transmission, said Minji, her fingers moving automatically while her eyes remained fixed on the screen. A new human appeared on the communication display. Unlike Captain Song's neutral expression, this human wore an elaborate uniform, with many decorations. Her face showed age lines that Jun had learned indicated experience among humans. I am Admiral Lee of the Human Defense Fleet. Welcome to Earth space. I see you've met our patrol vessel Protector. Allow me to introduce you to the HSS Deterrent, our system defense flagship. Patrol vessel? Jun looked back at the Protector, the ship that had terrified his crew just hours earlier, and realized with shock that humans considered it merely a patrol craft. The Deterrent will escort you the rest of the way, continued Admiral Lee. We hope this demonstration of our defensive capabilities helps establish mutual respect between our civilizations. After the transmission ended, Jun's officers erupted in worried conversation. This can't be real, said Navigator Jun. No species builds ships that size for war. The resources alone would. Their energy technology must be far beyond what they've shown in their broadcasts, interrupted Science Officer Sung. Those engines shouldn't be possible for their level of development. Jun raised his hand for silence. Officer Kang, full analysis of the Deterrent. I want to know everything our sensors can tell us. Kang worked quickly, her 6 fingers tapping rapidly across her console. Admiral, I'm detecting multiple reactor cores. Their shield technology appears to be layered, multiple overlapping fields. Weapon systems include directed energy weapons, kinetic launchers, and some technology I can't identify. Missiles, said Intelligence Officer Min quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. I've been studying their military history. Those are likely nuclear missiles, weapons that split atoms to create enormous explosions. The bridge fell silent again. In Confederation space, such weapons were theoretical only, too destructive to ever build. "Sir," said Communications Officer Minji after a moment, "I'm detecting communication signals being exchanged between the deterrent and several locations in the outer system. There are more of these ships out there." Jun felt a cold sensation run down his spine. The Confederation's 32 species had never built a true war fleet. They had never needed one. Their exploration vessels carried minimal weapons for protection against space debris or the rare dangerous animal on new worlds. These humans had built an armada designed for one purpose only: to destroy enemies. But who were these enemies? The humans had not yet encountered alien life before the Confederation arrived. Were they simply paranoid, or was there something else out there that the peaceful Confederation had never encountered? As they approached, Earth in the shadow of the enormous deterrent, Jun realized that everything he thought he knew about emerging civilizations might be wrong. Either humans were an aberration, a species uniquely focused on warfare, or the Confederation had been fortunate beyond measure in its 10,000 years of peaceful exploration. Perhaps the universe was not as benign as they had believed. Perhaps these humans, with their predator eyes and fortress solar system, understood something that the Confederation did not. "Send a private message to Confederation headquarters," Jun told Minji quietly. "Tell them everything we've seen, and—" He hesitated, then continued, "recommend they begin reviewing our defensive capabilities immediately." The Confederation diplomats landed on Earth at a place called the International Peace Center. It was a large building with curved glass walls that reflected the blue sky. Admiral Jun led his team of 12 representatives, each from a different Confederation species. They walked on 2, 4, or 6 legs. Some floated using anti-gravity technology. Their skin colors ranged from deep purple to bright orange. The human delegation waited for them inside a grand hall decorated with artwork from around Earth. Admiral Lee stood at the front, alongside other humans in different uniforms and formal clothes. They had prepared translation devices, though the Confederation already understood most human languages. "Welcome to Earth," said Admiral Lee, bowing slightly. "We are honored to be the first humans to meet beings from beyond our solar system." "Admiral," Jun returned the gesture. "The honor is ours. The Galactic Confederation welcomes peaceful contact with all sentient species." The formal greetings gave way to scheduled discussions. The diplomats from both sides sat at a large round table. Humans served food and drinks appropriate for each alien species, showing they had studied the biological data shared ahead of time. "We must address the warship in the room," said Jun finally. The human translators paused, then realized he was making a joke based on a human expression. Admiral Lee smiled. "Yes, you seem concerned about our defensive capabilities. In the Confederation's 10,000 years, we have never built vessels like your deterrent. Our species focus on exploration and trade, not war." A human named Director Park spoke up. "That's fortunate for you. Earth's history has been different." The screens around the room lit up with images from human history. Soldiers marching across battlefields, ships firing at each other on oceans, aircraft dropping bombs, tanks rolling through cities. "Humans have fought each other since we first picked up sticks and rocks," explained Admiral Lee. "Each war led to better weapons. When we achieved nuclear weapons, we nearly destroyed ourselves." Jun's team looked at each other with concern. This matched what they had learned from human broadcasts. "But you didn't destroy yourselves," noted Science Officer Sung. "Why?" "Balance of power," replied a human general named Kim. "If everyone has weapons that can destroy everything, no one wants to use them first." This concept was alien to the Confederation representatives. Their species had achieved peace through cooperation, not mutual threat. "And now you've taken this philosophy to space," said Jun, gesturing upward where the deterrent orbited silently. "We had to," said Director Park. "Look at our evolutionary history." The screens showed early humans hunting in groups, using tools to take down animals much larger than themselves. We evolved as predators who survived through cooperation and tool use, explained a human scientist. We expect competition. We prepare for threats. But there have been no threats in space, said Jun. No Confederation species has ever attacked. Another. Admiral Lee leaned forward. With respect, Admiral, that seems impossible. 32 species and no conflict, no wars, no conquest? It's true, said Jun. We were all fortunate to evolve from peaceful herbivore species. War is not in our nature. The humans exchanged glances that Jun couldn't interpret. May I ask, said Admiral Lee carefully, how the Confederation would respond to an aggressive, expansionist species? One that didn't wish to join peacefully? The question created uncomfortable silence among the Confederation team. Finally, Jun said, "This has never happened. All species we've encountered have welcomed peaceful contact." General Kim shook her head slightly. Admiral Jun, with respect, you've been very lucky. Later that day, the human diplomats gave the aliens a tour of Earth's cities, farms, and natural wonders. They showed their art, played their music, and explained their many cultures. The Confederation representatives were amazed by human creativity and their capacity for both destruction and beauty. In the evening, at a formal dinner, Admiral Jun sat beside Director Park. "I still don't understand," Jun said quietly. "Why build such powerful weapons when there is no enemy?" Director Park looked at him with serious eyes. "Admiral, in human history, the most dangerous time is when you think there are no enemies. We build these ships and hope we never need them. But if we do need them and don't have them..." Jun finally understood something fundamental about humans. They were shaped by a history of conflict that the Confederation species had never experienced. They expected danger because they had always faced it. And as Jun looked around at his peaceful Confederation team, he wondered if they were prepared for a universe that might not be as kind as they had always believed. The final day of meetings between humans and the Confederation took place in a high tower overlooking a city called Seoul. Through large windows, the aliens could see human civilization spreading out in all directions, tall buildings, moving vehicles, and millions of people going about their lives. Admiral Jun sat at the large round table with his team. After 3 days of discussions, they had learned much about humans. The Confederation representatives had shared knowledge about faster-than-light travel, advanced medicine, and sustainable energy. The humans had shared their history, art, and philosophy. "Tomorrow we will present our formal invitation for Earth to join the Galactic Confederation," announced Jun. "Our leadership is impressed with your civilization despite its unique development path." Admiral Lee nodded respectfully. "We are honored. There is much we can learn from each other." As they discussed final details, Officer Minji suddenly received an urgent message on her communication device. "Admiral Jun," she said, her voice tight with worry. "Our long-range sensors have detected 3 unidentified vessels approaching the solar system at high speed. They're not Confederation ships." The room fell silent. In 10,000 years of peaceful exploration, this had never happened. "Could they be from Earth?" asked Jun, looking at Admiral Lee. "No," replied Lee firmly. "All our ships are accounted for." General Kim immediately activated her own communication device. "Defense Command, this is General Kim. Full alert status. Unknown vessels approaching. Coordinate with Confederation sensors for tracking data." Jun watched in amazement at how quickly the humans shifted to a defense posture. Within minutes, displays around the room showed the Earth Defense Fleet moving into position. "The vessels are not responding to standard Confederation greeting signals," reported Minji. Suddenly, the displays showed energy weapons firing from the unknown ships, aimed directly at the Confederation diplomatic vessel in orbit. "They're attacking," gasped Minji. Before anyone could react further, the massive form of the deterrent moved between the attackers and the diplomatic ship. The human warship's shields flared bright blue as they absorbed the attack. "All defense units engage hostiles," ordered Admiral Lee calmly. "Priority 1, protect the Confederation vessels." Jun and his team watched in shock as the human defense fleet responded. The deterrent fired precise energy beams that disabled the weapons on one attacking ship without destroying it. Smaller human vessels surrounded the other attackers, neutralizing their engines with targeted strikes. Within 15 minutes, all 3 attacking ships were captured intact. "We have them secured," reported General Kim. "No casualties on either side." Jun stared at Admiral Lee. "You disabled them without destruction. Why? You clearly have the firepower to destroy them completely." "That's not our first choice," replied Lee. "Destruction is easy. Restraint is harder, but usually better." Hours later, they learned the truth. The attackers were a splinter group from a distant part of the Confederation, extremists who believed that humans were too dangerous to join their peaceful society. They had planned to destroy the diplomatic mission and blame humans, preventing Earth from joining the galactic community. In the observation lounge of the Peace Center, Admiral Jun stood beside Admiral Lee, watching as human ships escorted the disabled attackers to a secure facility. "In 10,000 years," Jun said quietly, "the Confederation has never faced violence from within or without. We have no process for this, no defenses against it. And yet such threats exist," said Lee. "As they always have." Jun turned to face the human admiral. "I now understand why you built your warships, why you transformed your entire system into a fortress. You were preparing for something we never considered." Lee nodded. "It's our nature. We hope for peace. But prepare for war," finished Jun. "A concept alien to us, but perhaps necessary." 3 months later, Earth officially joined the Galactic Confederation. But unlike other member worlds, humans took on a unique role: protectors. The Confederation created a new branch, the Defense Fleet, led by human officers but with crews from all species. The Deterrent and other human warships began patrolling the borders of Confederation space. Their presence alone prevented 3 potential conflicts in the first year. Many Confederation species initially feared these warrior humans with their powerful ships, but they soon came to appreciate the sleep that comes from knowing someone stands guard through the night. And Admiral Jun, now liaison to the Defense Fleet, often remembered that first shocking sight of a human warship, not with fear, but with gratitude for the unexpected guardians from a small blue planet.